Hello. If all has gone well, yep, good. This looks about right.
Blink
Um,
twice.
yeah. Oh, I am clipping, or at least
Ooh.
I'm up in the red. Do I need to change what is going on with my perpetual audio settings? Okay, I'll fix that in a second. But first, hello and welcome to this something new that we are trying.
Yeah.
I was going to stick our names under our pages, but I haven't done that.
Oh well.
Yeah, you
It's
can
probably
figure it
quite
out.
obvious which one we are. We'll do it
Yeah,
next time.
just click on the information down below, where you can see who we are. Reka did a pretty good job of approximating our likeness.
That is true. Although we're
Yeah,
on the wrong side.
people.
You're on the left.
Well, you're smart.
In the
You
red
can
group.
you can figure it out. I'll do that in a sec. But yeah, hello. I'm Sam, and which side are you over there? That's Lucy over there. Hi.
Am I? Hi, I'm Lucy over here.
Yeah, and names and pronouns. Yes, that's what I was going to do. So the text that's over on that side is where I was originally putting it, and then I was like, oh no, I won't do that. I'll put our names under us, and I just completely forgot to do it. Yeah, indeed. Thank you for the reminder, Speedy. Yes, I should do that. But yeah, hi. Some sort of intro, which I haven't planned or scripted or anything like that. This is something we I guess thought about doing for a little while. Kind of an informal. Sorry, I've got a cat here on my camera that's going to bother me. Informal sort of podcasty hangout and chat about stuff. Kind of about the books that we have been reading on stream, and off stream as well. Although for me at least that's kind of an ambitious promise because I actually don't read that much off stream. I go through like phases where I will read a lot and then I will just stop for months and do nothing. Do I have a sign off line? What's my sign off line? Dave hasn't written me a sign off line.
Nice.
Yeah. Today we are in the book. We were trying to come up with a layout for this, and I realise this is kind of an unofficial, kind of dodgy tribute to Mist, which may be something I'll try and work on in the future. Like actually make it look more like the book from Mist, because I've only recently ever played it. Lucy and I went through it together. It turns out it's really nice. Really good game. We started Riven though and got kind of lost on it, but
Oh yeah, we did.
yeah, like immediately stuck, and because they're difficult games, it turns out. You've read like 500 pages of Moon Knight comics in the last few days, so that's the reading you've been doing.
Nice.
Fair, nice, okay, yeah. I have not. That's my contribution to that. But yeah,
And that's the end of the stream. No.
yeah, but I guess first question: how are the audio levels? I'm gonna bring mine down just a little bit because I've got my gain up 6 decibels. I'm gonna drop me just down to 5. That'll do. See if that goes.
Thank you all for turning up.
Indeed, yeah.
Lovely to see so many excellent people here.
Indeed, it's really nice.
Two faces. Boodot. There we go.
And
Take that.
right, while you do that, you entertain the crowd. I'm gonna put some text on a screen.
Interesting. You could say it's a Facebook. No. Oh no. This is not Facebook.
What? Oh, good grief.
Boodot made a pun.
Yeah. Okay. Any mods in chat? Can we time out Boodot?
I mean, I literally can. No.
Yes. That may or may not have been.
May not have been the joke. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I was doing a non-joke to your non-joke. Wait.
What?
I don't know. I've confused myself.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm on the quiet side, apparently.
Oh right. Really? Okay.
Just lean into my microphone and talk very loudly.
Oh goodness.
Or just move my microphone closer towards me. That would be a clever idea, wouldn't it?
That's something you can do. Yeah, I can.
Do that.
I think I've actually got you turned up quite a bit in Discord, but
Okay. I'll just shout.
yeah. Okay. I'm still just adding names and pronouns and stuff.
Not to focus. There we go.
Let's go.
I hope everybody is well. How are we all doing? How is everybody's? What day is it? Monday.
Monday.
I am a day ahead of myself. It's very still sounds like you're clipping a little, apparently.
Righto. I will bring that down further. Cheers. Gain 5. Should I drop me down to 3? How about 3? Let's try 3.
I guess. Yeah.
Hi.
You're
How's that?
tired but excellent. That's good still. The excellent part, not the tired part. You're complicated. Why are you complicated, Arian?
Bold? That's embolden. Yeah, that's better.
Emboldify.
Yeah.
Today on Sam Pict's Fonts.
Yeah, right. Graphic design is my passion. Live on stream.
Yeah.
Um,
You're still a little tired, but you've had a good couple of days. Good. Marvellous. We're definitely experiencing Monday. Yeah. I think I am experiencing Monday. I just keep on forgetting it. And I keep on thinking it's Tuesday. Because Comic Sam's, stop. Stop. Cease.
I will start banning. Right.
We need like a chilliteracy ban hammer. Is it just like a pen?
Well, I mean, surely it's. I'll throw the book at you. Is the?
Oh, yeah, that would make sense, wouldn't it?
There we go. That looks reasonably good. Right.
Yeah, that looks Subconscious Monday. Yes.
Hi. So yeah, there we go.
We have pronouns.
Yeah, and names.
And names.
So now you know who we are. And this blank space over to my side here is if there's any like alerts and stuff like that. I think what have we done for like follows, bits, and subs and stuff. This is not a request. Don't worry, you're all good. But yeah, that's where those will go. And now I can read chat. Hey, what's up, chat? How's it going?
Ooh.
Yeah. Again, yeah, feel free to just keep reminding me about volume levels and things because I dare say it'll
You've
change.
got a stack of books there that we've read. That's
a good shout.
Yeah, I was thinking of doing that, and then I couldn't be bothered to. I was thinking of doing it like at the bottom as like a banner or something, but it might just get very tall very quickly.
I mean,
for Sam at least,
but yeah,
not for me because I'm still on Count of Monte Cristo.
I've actually like assembled. I've not like read cover to cover all of these, but I've like assembled a pile of. Here's some of the stuff that I've read, and here's some other stuff that I've read, taking out ones that I haven't. All these as well. Because I thought actually it might also be nice to see the covers of the books, so you can like. Yeah,
I've read this.
Look nice. Well, no, you're halfway through that. Look, there's Moonfleet. There's if you've been following along with Moonfleet when he's 2 parts in, there's the gang in the Mohune vault, and up in the corner there, if I get it in the right place, there's little John Trenchard just looking on, just lurking, showing his little face, hiding behind a coffin, as described in the book Moonfleet. Which you can experience on Saturdays, as read by me. But yeah, hello and welcome, and thanks for turning out. This is horrendously unscripted. I'm getting really distracted by seeing vanity is becoming seeing my own face. Like this is really weird looking across and
Stop
seeing.
Stop looking
me.
at yourself.
Yeah, it's kind of annoying. Yeah. So
but basically we decided to do this so this is going to be a monthly thing. So it's going to be second Monday of each month where we sort of talk about what we've been reading over the month. Although obviously this one will basically just be what we've read thus far on Chilliteracy because we've read quite a lot of stuff. Might not cover everything because there's quite a lot. But yeah, just sort of chatting about that. And we're thinking of also probably having some guests on at some point for later ones of these. Possibly having some guests read some stuff as well. We may have at least one person interested.
Just the one, the only celebrity guest we know. But you know, he said he'd love to sometime.
Screaming.
Yeah.
So it's basically our sort of chill podcasty hangout book club time where we actually sort of get to chat a bit more rather than just reading at you. No, not Stephen Fry, boo, unfortunately. Well, don't know if unfortunately is. But yeah, that is the general plan.
Oh, so I just noticed enormous graphic design faux pas, which I shan't point out.
Oh,
but I can't fix it. I can't do anything about it now.
Arian asks what's on our shirts.
What's on the shirts?
Mine's Desert Bus.
Yeah, Desert Bus 2021. Woo! And mine, Star Horse.
Yeah.
Star Horse.
It's a great t-shirt.
Yeah. It arrived the other day. It's from Destiny, which my Destiny lore book is over the other side of the room. But
You have read.
yeah, I've read from some of that. Yes.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
What? Stream elements? What?
What? 12 messages were deleted by. Wait. Okay.
I'll remove that timeout. Don't know what happened there, Sil.
I'm going
Stream
straight
elements. We need to.
Maybe
discipline.
This is just like a live bug shooting of the stream.
Yeah.
What?
Why is Star Horse? Is it something to do with the ellipses? No, because you just did ellipses. That's weird.
What? I guess it's Stream Elements doing its auto chatbot thing, so we don't even get to see it because it's just like shot it. I kind of wish it didn't do that. User management.
Just deleted all of your stuff. That's crappy.
Apologies.
Oh. Sorry about that, Sil.
Okay. Symbol is emote. I've only got emote protection and symbol protection on. Did you put a bunch of symbols in a message? I guess I'll just take those out. They're not being a problem. What on earth?
Stream Elements doesn't like percussion, obviously.
That's live announcement. Viewer queue. Wait, what? No, take that out.
I should have brought the rest of the books I've read.
Yeah. I'm glad that you know us. We're not just like bullying chat. I have no idea what that even was that did that. Looking on chatbot. I kind of want to say, can you asking what a Star Horse is too much for Twitch chat? Yeah. It just says 12 messages were deleted, but it doesn't say.
I think it was just the ... Star Horse ? Because apparently that's bad to say.
I guess.
Don't know why.
Yeah. Bizarre. Anyway, yes. Well, I mean, in defiance of Stream Elements, Star Horse it's a thing from Destiny. We're not going to talk about books at all this evening, no.
No, Sam's just going to go off on tangents.
Yeah, I'm sorry. You should know this by now. So late last year, there was like a Destiny Bungie 30th anniversary event. Kind of just a whole bunch of stuff. They did some premium DLC for it, and whatnot. And an event they added to the game called Dares of Eternity, which is hosted. So I'm trying to stop myself from going off on more tangents. This is going to get fractaline, and I apologize. Since the beginning of Destiny, there's been this vendor that shows up at weekends called Xur, to the point where literally he shows up at random places on the map each week, to the point where if you go to Google and start typing where, I forget how far you have to get, but I think it's like if you type where, it will be one of the where is Xur will be one of the suggested results. He is an emissary of the Nine. He just kind of stands around talking cryptic nonsense and sells you some stuff. And Bungie used him and the infinite unknowable Star Horse as hosts of this event called Dares of Eternity, which is essentially a cosmic game show, a little bit like sort of a Takeshi's Castle kind of thing through the lens of Destiny, where you and a bunch of other Guardians run a little bit of an assault course and shoot a bunch of lads to get to the end and win prizes. There is like a rare boss drop that shows up in it, literally called Cash and Prizes, and all sorts of that. It's the sound of the horse is terrifying. Yes,
it's great. Infinite nay.
They've very much walked the line between. Yeah, it's like it's a game that both takes itself very seriously and doesn't at all, and it knows it tried to, and then people started getting silly with it, and they're like, okay, fine, we just have to embrace this.
Silly.
Exactly, and they still do a good job of like telling some very good, some very serious stories. They've handled some actual big tough subjects recently, and done it remarkably well. Which is an odd thing to say about a game where you do space magic and shoot timeless robots, and there's a game show hosted by an infinite horse. But here we are. That's 2020 still.
Books?
Yeah, books. So yeah, that's Star Wars. But yeah, onto books, I guess.
Actually, onto one thing we were going to chat about first. So we've currently got a coffee.
I'm going to say coffee.
Coffee.
Ko-fi beats to chill to.
Yes, that account that is sort of because we didn't really want to do Patreon or something like that, at least for now. So we just sort of had that as kind of a, if you fancy chucking some stuff our way for book funds, because we everything we have obviously is in the public domain. Everything we read, is in the public domain and stuff. So most of the time we actually have to go out and buy the books, and we try and get them from sort of decent sort of independent booksellers and stuff, unless there's something like Count of Monte Cristo, which is flipping huge and impossible to get anywhere other than like Waterstones.
So I can actually link the place. Whoops, I clicked away from where I was, but I can link the place that I get my books from, because they're pretty good. While I go back to, they're called Better World Books, and it was actually just like a friend on Twitter just happened to mention them and say that they were really good, and I was like, huh, cool, I'll give that a try. And that's them, Better World Books. They seem to source secondhand books from all over the world and ship pretty cheaply, and have supplied me with a good number of these. So if you're just looking for like the text on pages, like they're not always the best quality. I've got like a lot of them are like ex-library or ex like academia. They've come from like some sort of public library or school library, university library, that sort of thing. So some of them are covered in like sticky labels and other sort of markup and stuff like that. But they're good.
Yeah,
not sponsored.
So that's not sponsored, but wouldn't mind. That's currently sort of what we have going on in terms of sort of off Twitch stuff. They are well read. It's quite nice to like have secondhand books, that someone else has enjoyed it. So we've been thinking for a while to do more kind of professional recordings of not necessarily all of the books we've read, probably not some of the really long ones, but certainly the short stories we've done, the ghost stories we've done, things like that. Doing some mistake-free, more sort of professional audiobook style recordings of those, and we're thinking of sort of doing some kind of like monthly subscription or something for people to like pay like £5 a month or something like that, and then they would get like a package of audiobook, or like these professional audiobook recordings that they can listen to whenever they like, but that aren't just like the VOD off Twitch, which is currently what we've got going on. But that's not going to be taking away any of the VODs or anything like that. You can still re-listen to all of the stuff we've done for free, and that's absolutely fine, both on Twitch and YouTube. So we think we might close the coffee page account thing, and because Bandcamp's fairly recently at least, done this kind of monthly subscription thing, whereby you can do what we would like to do and sort of make what they would usually do, make tracks available. So we basically do an album full of like short stories. Either we do each short story as a track, or each chapter as a track, or something like that. And if you pay a certain amount, or then you get access to these recordings.
Yeah, those details are still, I guess, kind of to be hammered out, worked out on as we kind of figure out the process. But yeah, essentially, like trying to find a way to. It's like you said, we want to. Been looking for a way to provide like actual better grade recordings of the stuff, because this is it's done in like a sort of a bedtime story kind of fashion of just literally someone just sitting reading the book. There's flubs, mistakes, interruptions, and it's like cats and whatnot. And so we've been looking for a way to provide like a better quality version of that. And in doing that, that means solving the problem of like file hosting and having somewhere to do that. And so we figured that like having a Bandcamp set up to host that and run that was probably a quite easy, convenient way to do it. No chance of having both, says Arian. And I mean, I guess potentially, I suppose partly we were thinking of just having it in one place because it makes it easier to direct people. Rather than being like, hey, you can go here and give us money, and you can go here and give us money, or you can subscribe on Twitch, and like having sort of different places. I mean, it's if people would be fine with that, I guess. But I mean, I think when Lucy and I were discussing it the other day, because you can on Bandcamp you can have it like where you pay what you want. So we figured like if people wanted to just like chuck us some money as again like a coffee donation kind of thing, just go there and give you like £3 or whatever, then in theory you could just go to Bandcamp and buy something. I guess that's asking people to go to another place if you might already have like a coffee account or something. But the thinking is that you can just go there and pay what you want for something, and then it's still giving us the money, and you would also get something for it yourself. So I don't know. Happy to. I mean, again, that's why we're like discussing this now in this way, so that we can get feedback from people. If taking away that and that as a source for giving us money would genuinely be a bad thing, no, we wouldn't make it sub only. No. We would still want people to be able to just chuck us a couple of quid if you wanted. It's not in any way trying to like force people over to that or anything. Oh, cheers, Phil. Thank you.
So just gonna roll with whatever we do. Thanks, Phil.
Yeah.
We will too.
Yeah. Yeah. So like I say, the idea for doing that is that we want. Firstly, we would want somewhere to actually host the files, somewhere that we can put them, that we can say to people with like paying access effectively. So like some sort of something so it's like, okay, cool, you've given us a bit of money or whatever, thank you, we appreciate it, here you go and get the better quality recordings that you want. And finding a way to host those files that allows access to the people that can get them. Bandcamp seemed a good way and kind of a decent long-term solution to it. Rather than like say having a Google Drive or something that would work for a little bit, but eventually over time would probably need to either be upgraded or migrated over to something else. And we don't have the means to like host those files ourselves anywhere online. So it just seemed to make sense to get something now that could function as a long-term solution. And Bandcamp seems to have opportunities to both like scale and do other stuff, like say merchandising or the kind of ticketed live streams that they do. Whether we would want to do something with that, I don't know, but it's nice to have the option if we ever wanted to do like a stream on there, like make some kind of special occasion stream or whatever, I don't know. But with that, always open to feedback, open to suggestions. If you have some other idea that we've obviously not considered, then let us know here on Twitter, or just like DM one of us on Discord, something like that. We know all of you. You're all chill, lovely people. That's fine. Happy to discuss it now if there's questions or feedback and stuff like that. It's all good. But that's, I guess, the extent of that so far. I've probably missed things because yeah, I go into this without a bit of paper in front of me telling me what to talk about. Like, for instance, while Lucy was talking, you saw me looking at my phone. That was me forgetting that I hadn't done a tweet for us going live. So I've now done that, and that's out there, even though I think everyone that reads those is probably already here. So, hello.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah.
So that's the current plan. And as we said, we're not gonna take anything off. We're not going to remove anything that's already kind of around.
Yeah.
So all the VODs are still going to be up on YouTube to watch whenever you would like.
Yeah, nothing is going away. The plan is, well, I suppose coffee might be going away, but the plan is to provide another source instead, and only add more content to the whole thing. So yeah, that's where that's at. The bedtime stories have a lot of charm, exactly, and yeah, they'll stay. Don't worry about that.
That's the entire point of this whole thing.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I'll be honest, it makes life easier for me because it means I can make mistakes and not worry about it, or like have to get up and go and let Joey into the room. He's asleep on the bed behind me at the moment, but for how long that'll be, I don't know. Yeah. So yeah, no, that is absolutely the point, and like for me, a large part of the charm and appeal. It's I think partly it's me thinking, like, certainly for me, I've got this fancy mic, I might as well make good use of it. So, and the obligatory SM7B in shot has if you spend that much on a microphone, you've got to show it off to people. So yeah, that's partly what I'm thinking. It's like, I've got this nice equipment now, so I should probably make good use of it, justify that purchase. And the more professional recordings are just for a slightly different experience for people if they want to just like chuck it on as a kind of audiobook type thing. Yeah, and not least, I figure part of my thinking is if you've actually got that in a more downloadable format, it makes it easier to listen in your own time rather than because I'm saying not least a lot. I've caught myself doing that now. When there's times when I want to say listen to something on YouTube, like, or watch something on YouTube, but kind of just more listen in while I do something else. And because I'm not subscribed to YouTube advertising free or whatever it is, which is like, hey, you can listen to stuff with your screen locked and things. I can't do that, and so you have to kind of have if you're listening to something on YouTube, basically, you have to have the screen unlocks and the video playing, and if you go to, like, on your phone and you go to something else, then it goes away. And so actually I figure having a file on Bandcamp that you can just download and have on your phone and hit play while you do something else, that might also make people's lives a little bit easier. Is the hope? I don't know. Again, there's going to be scenarios and permutations that I've not considered. But yeah, my hope is that might add a little bit more like function and accessibility to people, which would be nice. But yeah, that's that. Don't know exactly when we'll be starting that. We haven't yet sort of set plans for how to, like, what we're recording or how. We may be asking and polling for what people would actually like to hear. Yeah,
might get through sort of the backlog of some of the short stories and like ghost stories and things first, I reckon.
Yeah.
And then I guess we'll either put them. I might either put them up sort of chronologically as like when we like which ones we did on stream first, or maybe just ask everyone which ones they particularly fancy.
Yeah. Were there any favourites? Do some polls and stuff. Although I will say, because I'm thinking of it, getting onto another subject that I was going to bring up tonight, one thing I won't be doing is The Yellow Wallpaper by Charlotte Perkins Gilman, which was the first thing read on this channel. And just basically because as much as I loved the story, I really enjoyed it, I thought it was great. Turns out, as I've discovered recently from people discussing it on the Twitters, she has some really bad views about slavery. And that's just kind of ruined the whole experience for me. And it's a shame because it's one that I would love to go back and like reread and revisit because I really enjoyed the story. But no, it looks like she apparently like quite famously in literary circles, but it completely missed me. Just had some terrible views on slavery. And so it's like, oh, well, that's ruined that whole experience for me. And yeah, like I dare say if you dig into the attitudes and views of a number of authors that we've read, you'll probably find the same things. And there is obviously some degree of separating art from artist. If you like something, the views of the person that created it don't necessarily have to taint and contaminate it and take it away from you. But sometimes things cross a line, and you just sort of can't like consciously separate this and from the person that made it. And yeah, I felt like that's kind of done that for me. It's like I couldn't, like with Lovecraft as well, it's like I can't in good conscience read and promote that stuff without all the baggage attached to the man that wrote it. And it's like, okay, again, someone who just said a bunch of stuff or held a bunch of opinions that for me are just going to sit there in my mind while I'm reading it, and in this case broadcasting it to an audience. And it's like, nah, okay, that's a shame. So yeah, that's that, sadly. So yeah, like I again on that, I'm happy to leave it up on YouTube, because I feel like the story, the work itself is fine and good and doesn't like touch on that at all, I don't think. Certainly I didn't get any of it while reading it. But yeah, like going back to it and like revisiting it or glorifying it in any way past that point, it's like, nah, I'm good. I'll just move on and find something else instead. So yeah, that's that.
Anniversary radio play, Erin says.
Ooh.
Tempting.
Yeah.
Bit difficult to find that kind of stuff that isn't copyright.
Yeah.
Although I reckon we could probably do some digging.
Like or at
least find like a 2-man play or something.
I was going to say just like something for two people that's in the public domain. I mean, my first thought is obviously Waiting for Godot, but I'm assuming that's not public domain.
No.
No.
Nor is Rans and Guildenstern Are Dead, which is another good one.
But I feel like Waiting for Godot is one that surely people must just do. Like it's one of those. No, I feel like it's like.
It's a maybe I don't know. I feel like
is the Beckett estate going to come for you?
Well, I mean, yeah, I don't know. I feel like it's a fairly hard one to do because of the amount of work that has to go into it for the two leads. Maybe.
Yeah. I'm in no way saying I'm up to the task of that because it's.
Yeah. I think a lot of people think it's boring as well.
Yeah, true.
I guess fair enough, but
yeah.
Importance of Being Earnest. That's got a big cast though, hasn't it? Importance of Being Earnest.
Yeah,
that's loads of characters.
I did that back in school.
Maybe
it's been a long time.
Maybe we could get some people together and do something as like an anniversary. Like
when we were going to do Hitchhiker's Guide, and that fell through.
Hitchhiker's Guide. Oh, that would have been fun.
I'd still like to come back to that. I'd still have to just do it.
Yeah.
Also, what Erin said, like Yellow Wallpaper itself was more. It's about its feminism and poor mental health practices, and from the perspective of a woman who herself in real life had been treated really badly by people around her. So that was like the subject and focus of it, which again is why I'm fine with that content sitting up on YouTube. Like the work itself is good. But it's just the baggage that sadly comes with the person that wrote it. For me personally, is like I'm not cool with that. So yeah, but yeah, I suppose if you've got any like 2-person play suggestions, happy to that are in the public domain. Happy to
definitely collect a few people and do a reading of Ernest. Yeah, it's tempting. I mean, I'd love to do a reading of like some Michael Frayn or something, but the problem with a lot of Michael Frayn is that that relies on a lot of stuff going on stage. AKA farce.
Right.
Not necessarily farce. Some of it's farce, some of it's not. Stuff like Noises Off is peak farce. Also hilarious.
And
But oh yeah, you grew up on Harry Potter. Yeah,
hey, yeah, no, that's I didn't. I kind of grew up. I just never got into it.
yeah. I staunchly refused to read it because it was what everyone else was reading. I was like, no,
Same.
no, no, no. I'm not going to be cool.
I think I was like just. I think for me, I was also just a little bit older than the generation that it was kind of pitched at and really got into it. And obviously, that's not being like, oh, it's for the kids, because there were plenty of people my age and older that got into it in a big way. But yeah, but I think at the time I was just trying to be like, no, I'm too cool for this. No, shut up. So it's magic wizard kids. No, go read Lord of the Rings, like real book for men, and that kind of yeah.
Proper magic.
Yeah, I was a jackass as a kid. Let's just be real. And apologies, but yeah, I kind of I didn't get into it, so I kind of missed that. But boy, I apologize. I'm sorry to the people that having to go through that. Yeah, it sucks.
Be the contrarian. Yeah, Tamora Pierce.
I don't, that's a new name to me.
No, that's a new name to me too. Yeah,
but good.
Have to look up.
Yeah, it's always great when actually someone in any like. This is me. Just I apologize. I Lucy, if you have points and things to say, please just tell me to shut up and like because I have a.
I know.
You know. Okay, I'm sorry.
I'm well aware.
Yeah, I will just grab the mic and talk, and I apologize. And again, I can feel my brain doing a thing I want to say, sub-point, tangents. Yeah, because I was going to say, like, it is always great when actually someone that you kind of look up to and admire for like something they make or do actually turns out to be a cool, chill person with good, respectable views.
Terry Pratchett.
Yeah, exactly. Like, but I was going to say, like, with that, kind of the branching point of that is that like my own personal problem with like kind of stan culture and like the kind of the sort of hero worship that goes into that sort of thing. So it's like, yeah, it's great when someone who does stuff that you like turns out to actually be a good person and doesn't undermine that good reputation that you've built up by having awful views and saying awful things. But at the same time, yeah, my advice is always keep it measured. Just actually, yeah, like people are still people, whether they make something that you like or not. And so, yeah, just yeah, be careful with the expectations that you set for people as well. Don't put people on a pedestal. It's almost always a bad idea and rarely turns out to be good. Both for you and the person as well. Like it can be kind of frightening and damaging to find yourself on a pedestal for people, and
long way down.
Exactly. So just keep it healthy and respectful. Really is my pro-life tip on that. Not that anyone asked.
First series about a girl, Alana, switching places with her twin brother. Oh, that's cool. Oh, I'll have to read that. That sounds like
rad.
My kind of book.
Yeah.
I would violently try and find any violently. That's not the word I'm looking for. Vigorously. Vehement. No, not even vehemently. Just very enthusiastically bordering on violence.
Yeah.
Try and find any kind of story like that, because so much of the literature for especially young adult stuff, a lot of that, at least when like now it's a lot better, but at least when I was growing up, a lot of that was like there weren't any really good, strong female presenting main characters anywhere really. So always channeling Magpie there. No, I don't set things on fire. So yeah, that sounds good. I'll have to find that.
That just reminded me of. This is our channel, so yeah, we can get political here, obviously. There is some tweet that I saw recently from just a pair of absolute gonks. I forget which TV show it was they were talking about.
Gonks.
It might have been...
Great.
Love it.
Now? Yeah.
Yeah. Let's go with that adjective. Yeah. I don't know.
Everything.
Yeah. And is hey Sam, how how up with pop culture are you? Is there like TV show literally just called Vikings? Is that like, because they were talking about a TV show about Vikings?
There is,
and I'm assuming Vikings is the one they were talking about, and how it had, and how some of the Vikings in it were black, and it was someone to be like, oh, I've stopped watching because the show's gone woke, and then someone else was like, oh, actually I did some research. And it turns out some Vikings were black. Oh, then I can keep watching it then because it's not gone woke. It's like, oh, for goodness sake.
Wow. Oof. I swear the show is kind of very historically inaccurate anyway.
Oh, yeah.
Is this the thing you're going to get upset about? Whereas everything else is just completely...
this is the line for you.
Yeah. It's
you hero of the people. So, yeah. I'm like... yeah.
Joys.
Yeah. It's...
If it was about Vikings, then that was
it was about like that's so and like it's just like medieval book about woman. Oh, so woman protagonist who does things. No, well, obviously then that's just
can't have that
woke culture. No, it's not. I mean, firstly, so what if it is? This is how we change things, by showing people in these situations and saying, actually, people can do these things that aren't just straight white men. But also, this has happened through history. Women have done things, and black people existed. And so
great stuff. Wait, women existed in the Middle Ages? Yeah, I know, right?
I'm going to pull in another subject and say I think I'm just particularly kind of het up today because I found out that Chumbawamba were extremely folk. I knew they were sort of obviously extremely political and left-leaning, which is great, but I just never really stopped to actually listen to them because I mainly knew them from Tub Thumping, which I heard a lot back when it came out and kind of got sick of and just assumed that all the rest of their songs were like that. Turns out, not even slightly. They were like super proper folk band singing all the folk bangers, old and new. And so I've been listening to them today, and that's been really, really enlightening. And a lot of really good stuff. So that's another recommendation. Go and listen to Chumbawamba's back catalogue.
Bank catalogue.
Well,
different.
Yeah.
Folk bangers. Yeah. We like folk bangers.
Yeah, I was just watching a stream. James from Loading Ready Run, who takes album recommendations on he does it sparingly. Just like opens it for like one of the mods opens it for like a minute. I'll put it in chat because I actually learned just today the correct spelling. And I thought it was two U's, not W-A. I thought it was Chumbawamba, not Chumbawamba. So yeah, that's
Wow.
No worries, you're welcome. But yeah, I've been listening to them. It's like, oh, there's actually a lot of really good stuff here.
Not bad.
Nice.
Not bad at all. Yeah,
I'm happy with that discovery. So yeah, I'm politically aggressive today, I think, is how that's left me.
I'm kind of looking forward to finding out if there are any shanties in Moonfleet. Ooh. I say this, I have read Moonfleet,
same,
but I read it so many years ago.
Also same.
I cannot remember a single thing that happens in it.
Yeah.
So
I love that the opening bit mentions it literally opens with a song. Like Kegs Bopping 1 2 3, which it meant there's a bit where Trenchard mentions them singing like Ducky Stones and Kegs Bopping 1 2 3. And it literally opens with Kegs Bopping 1 2 3. Which I can again hold up to look. There's text on a page right there. Bang! Look at that. All out of focus in that.
If there is, you have lyrics right there. Yeah, he does.
But
just sing it.
Yeah, I did that on the other one.
Oh yeah, you did.
I just quickly made up a tune on the spot.
Yeah.
Because bad. Oh, thank you. But yeah, love when books do that. It's like I can't just read this. I'm gonna have to. It's like 2 lines. I guess I'm gonna have to sing it. Quick, come up with something. Okay. But yeah. Moonfleet, enjoying it. Say like you, I read it back in school as a child. Would have been English lit. Didn't really
I
appreciate
read
it.
for fun.
Oh, right. Nerd.
Yeah. I mean, I've read the entire thing of Dickens just for fun, so...
My dear, we're hosting a book club stream. So, yeah.
Nerds!
I mean, you've never even heard of it, like so many other books. I mean, that's, again, I don't know how far...
I feel like it's a very English novel.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like, I mean, yeah, what I know about it is I was taught it in English Lit, so I assume it's got some sort of, like, cultural significance. First published in 1898. Yeah, so I assume there's like some importance to it why it's on the syllabus.
I don't know. They put Wuthering Heights on the syllabus.
Ooh, burn, take that. Whoever wrote it, Bronte?
Yes.
Okay. I never read it.
Don't. It's not worth it.
No. But yeah, so like my main memory of this, as I said on the stream, is that my dad loves it. Okay, well, I talk about it in the past tense because it's like an event that happened years ago in my childhood. It sounds like he's dead. He's not. He's fine and well.
Definitely not.
Yeah. But just like coming home and saying like, "Oh, I'm reading Moonfleet," and I'm going, Elsevier Block, and such. So yeah, it's nice to kind of go back over it and sort of reconnect with that again.
Yeah. If you've got to read a Bronte, read Jane Eyre. There, read Jane Eyre. There we go. Yes, agreed.
That is one I did do in school.
Yeah. Catcher in the Rye, haven't read that. King Lear, King
boy,
Lear's good.
Yeah,
depressing.
Yeah,
incredibly depressing.
Yeah,
but really good. It's possibly one of my favourite Shakespeare plays, if not my favourite.
Yeah,
my favourite tragedy. There are lots that my favourite comedy is Much Ado About Nothing, because my goodness me, the sass in that is chef's kiss. Very, very good. And like there's a fantastic version that was up on YouTube. I don't know if it's been taken down, with Catherine Tate and David Tennant, the National Theatre, back in whenever 2000 and something. And it's just the clapbacks are just so good. The bouncing it's very, very good. Tennant Tate is the best. Yes. See, yeah, I agree. Still, you are right. But yeah, Mice and Men. I haven't read Mice and Men.
No.
But yeah. That version. See, everybody's there we go. It's such a good version. It's a very, very good version. There's some moments that they do interpret in a slightly different way from most productions of it, that just works so well, so very well. You had the pleasure of playing Benedict once. That boy cannot shut up. No. Just doesn't stop talking. To be perfectly honest, Beatrice doesn't either. So they're both as bad as each other, which is sort of the point. Wind in the Willows. Oh, we should do Wind in the Willows.
Yeah, we were going to do. We did. You did an extract of that on Christmas, because there was in that Christmas, book of Christmas prose and stuff that you had. There was like that one page about the like carol singers and stuff, which was really lovely. Yeah, we should absolutely do Wind in the Willows.
Yes, Wind in the Willows. Fantastic. Is good book. But yeah, what's your favorite thing that you have read so far? Would you say on Shilliteracy?
I don't know, actually. I'm gonna have to think about that for a sec.
Fair enough. Sorry, just
no, that's fine. Do you have an answer?
Because I can either be a sassy dummy or a himbo. Very nice. I mean, I'm kind of biased in that I wanted to read Frankenstein in the first place, and I love Frankenstein. So Frankenstein, because it's a really good book.
That's fair.
But there are some of the short stories that I read actually in my big old book of like world short stories I really liked.
Yeah.
Like those. I can't remember where it was from. I want to say like Czechoslovakia or something. Or Hungary, maybe Hungary. It might be Hungary.
Yeah.
But there was one there that was like something to do with like a witch in the woods and a curse and stuff like that. I like those kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, although to be perfectly honest, I'm really enjoying Count of Monte Cristo. I'm enjoying it way more than I thought I would, and I thought I'd be bored by this point. But there's a lot going on, and I'm really quite impressed by the translation, because to get kind of the passive aggressiveness that has happened in some of the previous chapters is quite impressive to sort of translate that and get it accurately. You're liking Monte Cristo? Good. Yeah, it's an adventure. But I thought, because it's this big, I thought it would be loads of filler, but it's not.
Turns out you just had a lot to say.
Yeah, exactly. It's not telling you the barometric pressure or the, how many leagues.
Yeah, get wrecked, Jules Verne.
Yeah, Jules Verne.
Yeah. Like, I don't know. Like, once again, taking hold of the microphone, I apologise. Well, like, when asked what's your favourite thing, anything, I always struggle to give an answer because it kind of depends on what my mood is and what I can even remember doing, having like encountered. Like, you know, what's your favourite film? I can't name a single film that I've seen.
Yeah,
like literally, I don't know. I guess I watched a film one time and that was okay, but I couldn't tell you what it's called. So like, I try to think then what things. Like, where does my mind go when I think of things that I've read? And I've enjoyed the ghost stories. I like, again, sadly,
the M.R. James ones are really good.
Yeah, like I've got the YouTube open now just so I can look over stuff. Like, honestly, sadly, I really enjoyed the yellow wallpaper. I thought that, like, the atmosphere and the mood of that was wonderful. Like, that's exactly what I want. So yeah, that I did enjoy that. I thought it was really good. Looking over it, like trying to think I'm just kind of, I guess, just going to review the stuff. It's like the Mary Eleanor Wilkins Freeman ghost stories. I'm trying to remember, like is it The Wind in the Rosebush? That one.
Yeah.
I liked that one. I enjoyed that a lot. I thought that was just like the right level of kind of folky, creepy stuff. Do
you mean the Canterville Ghost, Arian? Canterville Ghost is the best ghost story. Just there is no competition. It is the best ghost story. The Phantom Carriage, I want to say. I read The Phantom Carriage.
Yeah.
Which was, I can't remember who it was by, but yeah, the carriage that.
Oh, Phantom Coach, Amelia B. Edwards.
Phantom Coach. That was it. Yes. Yes, I remember it was a female writer. Like, woo. But yeah, Canterville Ghost. So good.
You also did The Red Room. And
oh yeah, that was good. I like that.
Oh, The Signal Man. Yeah, you I know you enjoyed The Signal Man a lot.
I enjoyed The Signal Man for two reasons. One of which, it's a good story. Secondly, Dickens.
Fair.
And turns out Dickens can turn a good ghost story. And I think at some point I've got to read the mystery. Well, I've got to read lots of Dickens because he's great. But the Mystery of Edwin Drood is sort of, I think later in his life he seemed to want to get into the more kind of atmospheric, slightly spooky vibes. And the Mystery of Edwin Drood is so well written atmospherically. It's really, really good. And then he just went and annoyed everyone by not solving the mystery because he died halfway through writing the damn thing.
Well, that's just rude.
So yeah, exactly. Have
other authors taken a crack at the end of it, or? I
think so, but I think so many people have just tied it up too nicely.
Oh, right.
And then there's a lot of people who just don't want to touch it because.
Fair.
I think some people think it might be cursed. It's like one of those things like don't ever, like, it's the composer thing of don't start writing or don't ever finish your Ninth Symphony because you will die afterwards. Things like that. So yeah,
just skip on to 10.
Horse of the Invisible. I will do that. Yeah. Yes. Or do what was it, Schubert? Yes, I think it was Schubert did. And don't finish 8. Do 9, and then go, yes, but I didn't finish. So,
no.
Yeah, didn't really work.
No.
You haven't really read enough Dickens, barely know his stuff. Yeah, he's one of my favorite authors. he wasn't a nice guy. Wasn't good to his wife. Didn't really understand how to interact with people. I would not be surprised, actually, if Dickens was somewhere on the autistic spectrum, possibly, because there's a lot of accounts of him just kind of not doing hugely well in social situations and things, and sort of trying to like, and writing was kind of, I think, his escape for a lot of things. But also he was, if you read Dickens, you are going to read some pretty damning social commentary. He goes off on a rant about how crap society is a lot of the time. So he's got some pretty good sentiments in there, and pretty satirical and kind of bitter takes on how societies run and the things that need to be changed. So he also had a very bad start in life, right? Yeah, I think so. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I think you're probably right there. I can't exactly remember, but yeah, I mean, Dickens writes characters very, very well, like better than, like, not even caricatures. The thing with Dickens, the fun thing with Dickens, is to go through all of his books and work out who his real life enemies were, because he would write his real life enemies and his friends into his books in either a really lovely, flattering light or an incredibly unflattering one. And he wasn't subtle about it. He pissed a lot of people off because they knew that he'd written them into his book as an unfavorably like portrayed character. It's like,
and he's just there like, what are you going to do? Are you going to say this is you? Go on, I dare you. I dare you claim ownership
like,
of this character.
I've got you into a corner. It's great. So yeah, I really love the fact that he did that. It's just the best way of getting revenge on people as an author. So good. Also, Ray Tracer, thank you for the sub. That didn't ping.
Yeah, there was no notification. Why?
I don't know. Have you turned? Was the overlay on?
Oh, it's just extremely delayed. It just came through now. Okay.
How weird.
Okay.
Might be Stream Elements. Oh. No lightning.
No lightning this time.
You get a mug of tea.
Yeah. And a little musical
better
flourish.
Than lightning. Yeah.
Oh, Joey wants to go out. 1 second.
Oh, fair enough. Which bigger name artist was nice? Yeah, that's true. There's a lot of them that sadly aren't great. She says, as a classical musician, knowing full well that there's a lot of composers who are just awful human beings. Stream Elements is having a time. It needs his money coffee still. Yeah. I guess that's Stream Elements rather than the overlay. I would assume.
Yeah, it works. I think it's just, what's up with my hair?
I don't know.
It's so fluffy. I got a shower earlier.
It's so fluffy. So fluffy, I'm gonna die.
But yeah, Ray Tracer, hello. Thank you for the sub.
Yes,
the
thank
resub
you very
even.
much.
You have to go to work.
Hope you are well.
Garden. Oh yeah, go work on the garden. But yeah, thank you very much.
So many famous painters as well. Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Which?
Sorry.
No, it's okay. I was going to say, which again brings us back to art from artists, stan culture, and all that kind of stuff. Like, yeah, it's difficult. But yeah.
Yeah, you misread Pentis as pirates. Yes. No, book I really, really want to read, but not in the public domain, and won't be for a pretty long time. Girl with a Pearl Earring. That is a fantastic book. I read it when I was probably a little too young to read it, quite frankly. But as is the case of most of the books I've read, just reading it back as an adult, going, yeah, no, shouldn't have read that. Yeah, Girl with a Pearl Earring by Tracy Chevalier, I want to say. Maybe wrong, but I think that's the author. Is a really, really good book. Quite short. But yeah, it's about Vermeer, painter Vermeer. And I think is based on, if not true events, certainly rumours of true events. So, yeah. War and Peace. Oh, good lord!
I was going to read out the whole. I'm in the middle of War and Peace, aren't we all? Boom!
Yeah, yeah. Well, I hope you're getting through that. I know it is people say it is an very good book, but it's long. You're reading Rivers of London. Is that the Oh, who's that by? It might be. Is it non-fiction or is it fiction? Because I might be thinking of another one that might have a similar cover, and might be non-fiction. Urban fantasy police procedural. Well, no, then it is not the thing that I was thinking of. But that sounds great. If you could do Count of Monte Cristo, you can do War and Peace. I guess. I feel like there's a lot more like clauses and subclauses in Russian translations than there are in French. So I might give it a go, might not. We'll see.
I was just going to rewind a second with Erin's misreading Painters as Pirates, because I feel like an opportunity to shout, like a stream that I've not actually watched myself, because I'm not really that into painting streams, but there was someone who, whenever like I'm on a channel, and it's Stephen, which is who now streams under either Steph Enjoys or Steve Enjoys, depending on how you read it, because he was talking about this the other day. Yeah. But yeah, there's a streamer called Painting Pirate, who whenever he's been raided just seems like the loveliest person, and so I would like to shout him out anyway. If you want to watch a painting stream with a lovely person, Painting Pirate. If that sounds like your jam, go check him out, because again, just I just like when I see someone who seems like a nice person to just give him a shout. But I was going to say, on like trudging away, not trudging, but like chipping your way through Monte Cristo and then going on to War and Peace. Like, I've got Dracula, which I want to try and fit in probably after Monte Cristo, and I just have to show off the cover because it's got the grumpiest looking.
He's so grumpy.
Uncle Dracula on the cover. Look at this man.
Who woke me up?
Why? Just like, you kids with your phones. Just
He just looks like what's his face from? It looks like the Baron from What We Do in the Shadows.
It's just like, can you get that phone out of my face? I don't.
Stop it! Stop it!
Why? Why are you taking my picture?
No, stop! Why do I have to sit here for 3 hours whilst you paint me?
Cover illustration.
Scrooge. Yeah, basically.
Yeah, Count Dracula, 1999, oil on paper by Jonathan Barry, contemporary Irish artist. Yeah.
I wonder who he based it on. They're pretty great eyebrows.
It's just a hell of a face, and I love it. It makes me laugh every time I look at it.
It is so good.
But yeah, I'm hoping to try and get onto that, to sort of like start it in time for Halloween, like maybe get into it a little bit before then, so we're kind of building up to stuff in the month of October.
So we are at halfway point, Count of Monte Cristo. We're in May. So hang on.
Exactly, Sarah. Dracula from your emails.
Yeah. Right, where's... Okay, so yeah, we're halfway, and we're in May, so that's taking me 5 months. Another 5 months will take me to May, June, July, October.
Pretty much coming up to October. All right, that was a commitment. We've learned, I think, about reading time.
Turns out, when you've got a book that's like half of your face in width, it takes a while to read. But yeah, what might happen is I might do like a bonus stream of reading more Count of Monte Cristo, or just like a really long stream or something like that, just so we can get it through a little bit quicker.
We'll just put the end of it on Bandcamp. No.
Oh, that would be cruel.
That would be horrible. I would.
Yeah. Dracula after 10 years of customer service. Yes. Oh, Maria,
it's just,
you're off. Bye bye.
Goodbye.
Thank you very much for dropping in. Yeah. Have a good rest of the day.
It's just Dracula. Like, to me, it's just Dracula who's just really pissed off at the grandkids filming him for TikTok. Like, just getting another wacky grandpa reaction. He's like, could you not? What are you do? Are you gonna put this on that clock site? No, not at all. Could you just got it? Yeah. No. Stop. That's just pure elderly disdain, and I'm here for it.
Yep.
I'm still thinking about what I've been.
What books you like?
Because I mean, I'm looking at it. I've got. Shall I have them all here? Like Robert Louis Stevenson as well. I really enjoyed the atmosphere of Jekyll and Hyde and the Body Snatchers. I thought those were actually really good.
Yeah, they were good. Yeah.
And maybe I'm considering like looking into. I keep forgetting, like, yeah, to go and look into more of Stevenson's work and see what other stuff he's got that would do.
Oh, we must do Treasure Island at some point.
Yeah, I
Must
that's
do Treasure Island.
yeah.
It's like
Absolutely.
ripping yarn.
Yeah, that's what people say. But yeah, that's I enjoyed those a lot. I thought again, like just the kind of the misty London atmosphere in those. Woo, slipping off my chair was good.
I liked Whistle and I'll Come to You, My Lad. That's MR Jones. That was good.
Yeah.
That was spooky. I liked that.
Yeah, definitely. That was yeah. Oh damn it. Oh yeah, the Richard Middleton, like the ghost ship, because there was some.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like some of the ones in this were really good, and some of them were really sad. Yeah, the ghost ship about just like the giant mysterious ghost ship just appearing in town, and everyone's just like, oh yeah, we get ghosts here. That's fine. That's normal. Yeah, for like a different spin on things. And yeah, I enjoyed that like the Coffin Merchant as well. Just a fairly straightforward one about just a guy who basically gets told that he's going to die soon. He's like, yeah, no, that's silly. Don't be silly, and then does. As is the way of these things. Yeah. What else? Yeah, the Mesotint.
That was good. Yeah, Mesotint's good.
And I think like Bricket Bossum is one I always come back to as well. Which again is just like a very. Yeah, I feel like the ones I've enjoyed most are the ones that are just very, very plain, straightforward. Not because I think I go into them looking for like, oh, what great haunting, chilling, spooky mystery are you going to present me with that like teases the mind and presents some cryptic but fascinating solution to unravel at the end, like a weird haunted puzzle box. And so I get to the end of one that's just straightforward, it's just all tone and atmosphere. And it's like, oh, there was a person who was in a room where something was a bit weird, and then the things continued to be weird, and the person sat there going, no, it couldn't be the weird thing that possibly happened. Like, you open with someone going, there was a woman who died in here 300 years ago, and she was hanged for being a witch, and the person sits and goes, oh, cool story. I'm just going to sit in here for the next 10 hours. And then they start hearing spooky womanly voices, and they're like, must have just been the wind. And then they die. And I get to the end of those, and I'm like, I guess didn't really like set me alight with anything exciting, but sure. But those are the ones that stick with me. That I come back to like weeks later, and I'm still thinking about it. Like, yeah, you didn't like the text didn't really like excite me in terms of the story that you told, but the way you told it, stellar. Yeah. And so that's kind of what I've learned through this. That the stuff that stays with me the most is just very straightforward, very almost ordinary, but told really well. And so like say Bricket Bossum, just I don't know. There's a couple of girls, and one of them keeps seeing this house that the other one can't see. That's just at the bottom of a lane in a place that they've moved to recently, and then eventually she goes missing. And it's pretty ordinary, pretty straightforward. But it is one that I keep coming back to when I think about the ghost stories, and like collectively, that's the one that like jumps to the top. And yeah, I enjoyed that. I enjoyed that one a lot. Yeah,
that was a good one. I liked that one too.
And what's cool is there's so many. If you find a list of public domain ghost stories, there's loads. And yeah, it's nice just like delving into them.
There's something that we must do at some point.
Oh yeah.
And that's a poetry night.
Oh yeah.
With one particularly special poet. We'll get there.
Poe?
No. I'm saying special in a very sarcastic way.
Oh, good grief.
There we go.
Okay, yeah. Oh.
William McGonagall, for anybody who is I mean, yes, we must do an actual serious poetry night,
Yeah.
but then we also must do an entire night because, my God, this man wrote so many poems. Well, if you can call them poems, I guess they're poems. But oh, you don't know who that is, Sil. You are in for a treat. You are in for a treat. He is sort of kind of a cult figure in the sense that he is known as the worst poet ever. But he thought he was great. He thought he was absolutely fantastic. And I made the mistake of showing Sam a couple of his poems. And now we've just been going through the entire catalogue. And my goodness me, there is a lot. There is a lot.
Yeah. Like, it's a complete, like, I feel like a lot of this is like, it's not kind of done as like a celebration of the classics, but there's a little bit of like, it's an appreciation of, oh, these are things that people know that I hadn't read, and it's actually nice to go back and read them and appreciate them like done in this way. And it's like, oh yeah, this is cool. Yeah, that's kind of the opposite of that. McGonagall did not write good poetry, but apparently thought he did. And
there's also apparently he's a bit like, so if anybody's heard of Florence Foster Jenkins, he's basically like the poetry version of her. Florence Foster Jenkins, for anyone who doesn't know, was this very wealthy New York socialite who in her sort of, I think, 50s decided that she loved music, absolutely loved music, and she decided she'd have a crack at being an opera singer. She couldn't sing. She was tone deaf. She didn't think she was tone deaf. She thought she was great. If you look up Florence Foster Jenkins, Queen of the Night aria on YouTube, I promise you will not be disappointed. They did a whole film about her with Meryl Streep playing her a few years ago, and it's all true. So basically, similar kind of thing. McGonagall thought he was the bee's knees and is just not. And apparently I read a bit of his biography or something on, it might have been Wikipedia, I can't remember, but apparently he was also a very very passionate like Amdram actor. He loved acting, and apparently during one performance of Hamlet he refused to die because he didn't want to go off stage, which I love so much. And I'm just gonna read you the first verse of the poem he is most famous for, which is the Taybridge Disaster.
But firstly, good night, Erin. Thank you for being here.
Oh, you off? Oh, good night, Erin. Thank you so much for being here. Yes, I'm going to try and read it without laughing, but it's very difficult. It's beautiful railway bridge of the silvery Tay. Alas, I am very sorry to say that 90 lives have been taken away on the last Sabbath day of 1879, which will be remembered for a very long time. It's so good. None of it scans. And the best thing is, when you start reading like all of the poems, you realize that he only has like 4 rhymes that he's comfortable doing, and they're all the same. It's like the number of times without dismay or without delay comes up in his poems is just, it's great. It's fantastic. So maybe we should do like a you laugh you lose stream on like April Fool's next year or something, trying to get through these without laughing.
I feel like the thing, almost like kind of behind the scenes conversation, is finding the right way to do this without like effectively looking like without kind of making fun of people who try and like who kind of have a love of something and try it, like, because that's the thing.
Definitely not that, like, that's fine.
Absolutely, like all about if you enjoy something, do it. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be good. It doesn't have to be great or talented. It doesn't have to be like the best. Just go ahead and do it, because like that's something I struggle with personally myself a lot. Like, many is the time I will attempt something or start something and kind of get into the mentality of, well, this isn't better than the last one, so I should probably stop and like give up. Exactly, Tyler. Everyone should make bad
Everyone
art, and you truly mean absolutely, 100% agree. Like the art that you make doesn't have to be good, and it's not about like belittling that or like making people feel small or bad for having a go and doing something that doesn't. That doesn't live up to your own standards, doesn't live up to anyone's standards, doesn't have to meet any standards. Just do it.
But this guy was apparently a bit of an arse.
Yeah.
Like, it's fine. Do bad art. That's all cool and great and everything you've just said.
Yeah.
But in this particular scenario, this man had a much, much higher opinion of himself than necessarily was deserved. And I don't think he was the best person to other people.
Yeah.
Especially when it came to taking criticism. So, and quite frankly, I'm like, I never look at, especially his stuff, like, and again, people like Florence Foster Jenkins, I'm just happy they existed. And I'm happy this art existed because it's still great, but they're still making a positive impact, not necessarily in the way they thought they would, but it's still like humor is like, laughing at bad poetry. You're laughing at, like, if it were deliberately trying to be comic, it would be fantastic. Like, it would be genius because it's so good. It's so bad, it's good. And not trying to. We're still talking about him, exactly. Like, these people have still done something good and have still made a positive impact in the world. And laughing at their stuff doesn't mean that we're going, you're such an idiot. What are you doing is stupid. It's like, no, this is just objectively funny. Yeah,
exactly. Like Rachel, we absolutely don't want to punch down, and want to be careful to like, make sure that it's framed as that, and that's on us to do as well. Like, if we just kind of sit here and just like, oh, look at this bad poetry, aren't we better? Like, it's I don't want to do that. And like you say, like, we're still talking about him, so he's got that going for him. Absolutely. Like, if nothing else, he has written way more stuff than I ever have done or ever will.
Oh God, yeah, he's done so much.
And I've known, like, I've known and seen authors mainly, but like, plenty of people over the years who have turned out stuff that to me I may not have liked. I may not have thought, like, objectively from like a critical perspective, that it wasn't that good, but you know what? They do it. And that is genuinely a respectable trait. That is something that like, whether they're using that energy to make stuff that I enjoy or not, like, they're making stuff, and that is admirable and respectable. And I don't make nearly as many things as I wish I could or did. And so people who are able to just put their head down and turn something out because they enjoy it, because it's a passion for them or whatever, hell yeah, absolutely, go ahead and do that, please. That's kind of how I'm on that. But
but they are good poetry in the sense that they bring joy. Let's put it that way. They bring unbridled, just hilarity, and it's great.
I'm still just looking over this pile of books.
Yeah, you've got a lot there.
I have.
If I'd actually compiled the books that I have read.
I mean, my other problem is that, like, because we started this channel, and it's like when someone starts playing D&D, and like before you've even had your first session, you're like, ooh, I can buy a polyhedral set now. So you immediately go and start looking for dice, and you show up then to the first with like, it's like you've never even rolled a d20, but you rock it up with like 5 different sets. Like,
things.
You're already like 300 quid in the hole because you just bought a bunch of dice and other bits and pieces. Sorry, fluff in getting in my way. And we started doing this, and I was just like, oh, I can buy stuff. I'm gonna go and look up books and buy books. So that's how I've ended up with this huge stack of things.
You're gonna need more bookcases.
Well, what I want to do is have to my left here have like a book.
Oh yeah, you wanted to
have
put one there.
some shelves. And the other problem is like not every story in these is either suitable, or in some cases there's just like I've talked about it on the relevant streams. There's just content that if it's small, I'll try and skip past it. If it's like whole paragraphs where other things are explained, it can be trickier to like edit around it, and so I'll just like, it's fine, it's a short story, I'll just skip on and read something else. And then like so you'll get like a whole book like this, and I won't read every single story that's in it. This is the Gilchrist one. There's a bit in the introduction that talks about some unfortunate descriptions of various people in one of the stories, and there's another couple that it mentions that have like that don't deal with like sanity and like mental health and stuff particularly well. So when I get to those ones, I'll like give them a check and see. Or this one of Cornish Horrors, which has like just a couple that weren't that great stories. I didn't feel like, again, I talked about it at the time, where it's just there's one about a couple who have an argument on a young couple in a town, and it's from like the clergyman like Parsons' perspective or whatever, who kind of overhears his argument, and then the woman falls off the cliff, and you think, oh great, so the jerk boyfriend who was kind of abusive and sort of pushed her is going to be haunted by her and get some sort of comeuppance. No, it turns out she survived the fall. She was just like living in I'll get to Joey's howling at the door. Just living in like a cave, calling out for help, where she got stuck for a couple of days, and they find her, and she's fine and he's fine. They patch it up. He apologizes to her and she accepts him back, and his love rival also turns out to be like chill with this all, and it's like, yeah, I know, we'll just be best friends as well. And it's like, I guess I kind of wanted
that doesn't seem right. Yeah,
I bought this book for Cornish horror stories, not abusive boyfriend gets everything he wants. So yeah, I skipped past that one. And there's a few, but then there's also ones like there's one of this I really can't wait to read called The Screaming Skull, and I hope it's good, because I really want to read a story called The Screaming Skull, because that sounds metal as hell.
It does.
But yes, I have a screaming cat, so I'm just going to let him in. 1 second.
Yeah. And are we both print book people rather than audiobook and ebook? Yeah, I think so. I think I can speak for Sam on that. I've kind of grown up listening to a lot of like radio dramatizations and stuff of books, stories. So I do occasionally listen to that kind of stuff, but I don't particularly like listening to audiobooks. I much prefer, mainly because I read really, really quickly. So I much prefer just like reading through a book in a day.
Me with audiobooks, I would stop concentrating. I would just kind of zone it out and do something else, and I just wouldn't end up paying attention to it. So, Joey's gone on the bed. I don't know if that's in shot. Yes, it is. Good.
There's a tiny bit of his head in shot, yeah.
Hi. You're on camera.
Oh, there he is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because I've got a different camera.
Yes. Oh, yeah, that's true, yeah.
Oh, look at his little face. Look at his face.
But yeah, that's like, yeah, I'm not down with any of the like snobbery around audiobooks. Like it feels weird to me to call it reading, because reading to me as a verb has a specific definition in my head of literally looking at the words on a page and interpreting those into your head. But that's not me being like, if someone says, "Oh, I've read a book. Oh, how did you read it?" "Oh, audiobook." I'm not going to tell them they've not, because you have. No. It's just my own like internal definition of it. Just has to rebalance. But yeah, everyone loving the screamy cat.
Yeah,
yes, that's you, the screamy cat.
Maybe we should have a Joey emote.
That would be good to have. Yeah, when we have enough slots.
Yeah. I mean, you basically make audiobooks, so no judgment. Yeah,
exactly. Right. Exactly. Yeah. Like, I want to, because I know it's a thing that people can be snobs about, and I just want to be like, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah. I thought
like
of
rain here.
Oh, it did look earlier like it was going to rain here,
No.
actually.
No, I haven't.
Oh, okay.
I do not. At least I don't think
Oh,
so.
yeah, we got no background sound on this scene as well, so I hope there's no, needless noise coming through.
There might be my end. Apologies if so.
No, that's fine. You had a little bit of, internet breakup earlier, but it's...
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was keeping an eye.
Yeah.
Having a bit of a time.
It's been fine.
Yeah, okay, good.
You kindle because you...
You do. Oh no! Dunk yourself in the head when you fall asleep in bed reading. Oh dear! Ow!
Yeah. I had on the subject of books read off stream. I had the bizarre experience of a book that I was reading on Kindle on my phone that I couldn't progress because it was crashing.
Yeah.
So the book, this is going to be a hell of a digression. The book is called...
it's about books.
It is, yeah. The book is called There Is No Anti-Memetics Division. It is by an author who... There you go. An author who goes by the name of, I guess, Quantum, QNTM. And I don't even know how I found them. I don't remember. And basically what that is, what they do, they're, I think, quite a regular SCP author. I can get into explaining what SCP is if anyone in chat doesn't know. But yeah, they write a lot of stuff for that, and There Is No Anti-Memetics Division is like a collection of some of those around the same idea of sort of a government run, I guess. So kind of like FBI equivalent. That's kind of what the SCP is, I suppose. The division within that, who specifically works with the concept of anti-memes, which is, whereas like a meme isn't just a joke for those that those.
I could
just
read the blurb if you wanted.
You can do that. Yeah, okay. Here's Lucy with the blurb.
And going over to Lucy in the studio with the blurb.
Mm-hmm.
If my internet decides that it likes me, because I've just seen it's gone blub again. But yeah, shout if I'm buffering.
Yeah, you're right at the moment.
And the blurb is, an anti-meme is an idea with self-censoring properties, an idea which by its intrinsic nature discourages or prevents people from spreading it. Anti-memes are real. Think of any piece of information which you wouldn't share with anybody, like passwords, taboos, and dirty secrets. Or any piece of information which would be difficult to share even if you tried. Complex equations, very boring passages of text, large blocks of random numbers, and dreams. But anomalous anti-memes are another matter entirely. How do you contain something you can't record or remember? How do you fight a war against an enemy with effortless, perfect camouflage when you can never even know that you're at war? Welcome to the Anti-Memetics Division. No, this is not your first day. Which I think is a fantastic blurb.
Yeah, it's like I don't know how I found it. I guess Amazon must have just recommended it off the back of something else, and I'm very easily sold by a book's cover. If a book has an interest, I know I know the expression, and it's wrong. If a book has a cool cover, I will lean in and read the blurb on the back and assess it accordingly.
Usually if it has spaceships on.
Yeah, there was actually there was a Penny Arcade comic that I saw just earlier today, I think, about that, which was spot on about I just want books with spaceships and planets on the cover. Just give me that. Based on the blurb, perhaps you've read it before.
Oh.
So that's the thing, right? Whereas a meme is information that seeks to be shared. That's like the core. I think it was Dawkins who coined that concept. That's a whole other subject.
Yeah, let's not go there.
Yeah, but for me especially, I've had a slightly different relationship with that over the years from childhood. But yeah, so like a meme being not just a joke, that's kind of what the internet's turned it into. Just like, oh, I'm making memes, what are you doing? I'm putting impact font on a picture. But it's information that seeks to be shared. That is what it is. It's like, as a gene is like shareable information. Like, it's genetic living information that is shared and passed. So a meme is that for ideas and concepts. This is a very vague, loose, bad definition of this, but it's just give you something to work on. And so this is a book about the opposite of that, the concept of the anti-meme, information that seeks to hide, to not be shared, to vanish from your memory as soon as it goes in, which is something I deal with a lot on a daily basis as someone who, as Lucy can attest, will be told a thing and 10 seconds later it is gone.
Yeah.
If I don't make a special effort to retain it, maybe it's just gone. Maybe you'll say, yes, no, what are you doing tomorrow? I told you like 5 minutes ago, I have a very important thing that I'm going to, that I need to go to. Oh, okay, cool. You're not retaining this, are you? I might, now that I feel bad. Math class. Yeah, that sort of thing. And so, yeah, and it gets quite actiony. But yeah, I was just struck by the extra irony that I was reading this book about anti-memes, about information that seeks to hide and escape and be forgotten and to exist in the shadows, and it crashed. Like literally the PDF on the Kindle app on my phone would crash. I would try to turn to the next page, whatever page it was, and it wouldn't. Like the entire app would just crash and close. And I even I tweeted about this, and the author saw the tweet and got back to me and was like, oh, okay, well, if you can tell me what page and what's happening, what app and what phone and stuff like that, we'll try and bug shoot this. And it's like, I might have mentioned it, but it wasn't like in any way a complaint. It was just, I was just tweeting about like the irony of this book about hidden information that is literally stopping me from reading it on my phone, because it's firstly the concept of a book crashing, but secondly what information this book is trying not to convey is too beautiful to not tweet and mention them. They'll appreciate it. And they got back to me and like, oh yeah, no, we can try and troubleshoot this if you help me, give me some information. And eventually we figured out it was just that I needed to reinstall the app on my phone. It was like it was something
boring, and it wasn't the author trying to prove a point.
It was it was just extremely uninteresting. Like the app, I think like the cache on the app just needed to be cleared, and the only way I could do that was by scrubbing it and reinstalling it. But yeah, that was good. That was fun. And yeah, I really enjoyed the book. If it sounds like something,
it's good.
If you like weird, really weird sci-fi, yeah, there is no anti-memetics division. It's on, that's like the Amazon self-published thing, where basically like you order it and it just prints it and sends it to you. But it's also it's super cheap on Kindle. Really, really enjoyed it. And gave it to Lucy, who got back to me like later that day. Was like, yeah, read it, really good, cool.
It's gave it to me. I was like, oh, cool. So this happened. You're like, what?
That's the middle of the book.
This?
Oh yeah,
like an hour ago.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, it is quite a small print actually.
Yeah. Like I got through it pretty quick, but that was mainly because I enjoyed it and was just that
it's a small book.
Yeah. But when I enjoy something, I will just like churn, but even still not at the same pace as you. Yeah.
Yeah, I do sort of eat books.
Yeah. Oh wait, no! I've just remembered where I found out about them. Why I know who they are, because they did that. One of my favorite bits of horror fiction.
Yes, the Wikipedia article.
Yeah. So they wrote. I'm trying to remember what it's called now. Damn it. I thought I had joked. So basically they wrote a piece of fiction that got shared around a few times in the last couple of years about it's again in that SCP fashion, it's a wiki entry like for Wikipedia from some 100 or so years in the future, about the I was like M. Acevedo or something like that. Something, I think. Oh no, that's just the name of the person that it's about.
I can't remember.
No. But yeah, it's about the first, like, documenting in a Wikipedia fashion, the first human consciousness uploaded into a computer, and it's horrifying in ways that I didn't expect and that I hadn't considered. Yes, that's true. Yeah, I put it on the Discord, didn't I? And yeah, it's so good. So yeah, this is the author of that. That's where I went and looked to see what other stuff they've written and found this. Was like, oh, this sounds rad, because that was good. If like post-humanism and transhumanism has any like horrifying elements that you enjoy or that kind of stuff, that was like, if like the game Soma, for instance, if some of the content in that is the kind of thing that, because again, not everyone likes horror, that's completely fine. I like stuff that makes me uncomfortable in those kinds of ways, because it's fun food to mentally chew on for the next few weeks or months. So that I could go and look and find the piece if anyone was interested on clicking and reading. But yeah, it's a piece about that, and from that I was like, oh, I've got to see what else they wrote. And yeah, Anti-Memetics was the other one. Well, another one of theirs that I've read. I read an older one which is also good, but did not do what I thought it was going to do, and was kind of weird. Had a point in your life where you could read a book a day. Oh damn, I could never do that.
Yeah. I'm probably going to get back to that fairly soon, because I was given the next 4 in the Discworld series for Christmas. Haven't read them yet, but I can get through a Discworld book a day very easily.
Nice.
They're just so readable. I mean, one of them I've got is Eric, which is like that thin, so that's going to be like a 3-hour read. But yeah, Pratchett is incredibly readable, and I will just devour them.
Someone else that we would love to do on the stream, where we could get permission.
Oh yeah, love to read Pratchett.
Which like they've now announced, is it Bill Nighy's going to be doing audiobook versions of all of them? So it's like, damn. Oh well. That's going to be great, but it's like, I guess that torpedoes any chance of us getting like cheeky author permission, well, not author, like estate permission from like Rhianna Pratchett or something to do anything like that on this, because I'd love to. It'd be so good.
Yeah. 41 books wasn't enough. No, I feel like he was trolling everybody, because if he did 42 books, everybody would be like, oh, you did the Hitchhiker's number, but he didn't. Also, yes, your girlfriend's been consuming the Discworld books. She's gonna run out. Yeah, I think that's going to happen to me as well. I keep on trying to go to like charity shops to get them as well, but unfortunately the charity shops sort of only really have, if they do have them, which is kind of rare, they only have certain ones, that most of which I've already read. Having to actually buy them, it's like, oh no, this is going to be a very expensive book collection. Yeah, it's like, why does he have to write so flipping many?
Yeah.
Also, have a good time working in the garden, Ray Tracer.
Indeed.
Enjoy.
Yeah.
I hope you've had rain. We have not had much rain here. The plants are unhappy. Got an Moorpork reference book while in Bristol. Oh, cool. Nice. I didn't know there was a reference book. That's pretty great.
Nice. Also, I remember because I saw it scroll by.
Filled with ads.
Lynn saying about having consumed more books from following the channel, and I saw you give the heart. But that's really lovely to see. I'm really glad.
Yes, thanks. You. Yeah, that's really, really great to hear.
Yeah,
we are glad that we are putting books in front of people that they wouldn't necessarily read.
Yeah.
It seems like many until you finish it, and then you wish you'd taken it slower. Yeah, I think that's going to be. I'll just reread them all again. I reread books. I reread books all the time.
I intend to, but I'm actually really, really bad for reconsuming things that I have already experienced. Like I want to, Like there'll be I do it with all things like books, films, games, and stuff. I'll get to the end and be like, oh, that was really good. I want to watch that again, or I want to read that again, or play that again. And then I just kind of go, no, I've already done that now. And it's like the lack of, even if I enjoyed it and I know that I will enjoy it again. Like there are films that I have rewatched, but it's more often it's like it has to have been started by someone else, and I'll sit and watch it and go like, oh yeah, no, I enjoy this. But the actual acts by my own hand of sitting down and doing the thing again, it's like that the lack of novelty that it's not new to me like deters me from doing it. And it's a pain because, like I say, there's stuff that I know I would enjoy to go through again, and I just don't.
Yeah.
And I've gotten worse about it as I've gotten older.
You're about to rewatch Moonlight because you need to catch all the small details. Yeah. You see, that's what I really enjoy about, especially, I mean, for me, that was born, especially with films, that was born from Aardman. Like, you can rewatch an Aardman film or an Aardman short film many, many times and have still missed the tiny little details that they will have put in. And so I would always rewatch Aardman films because it's like, oh, they put the thing in, that's funny. I tend to do that with books as well. It's just favorite books that there's certain like bits of prose that you particularly like, and you're just like, it's kind of really nice to read, just really satisfying to read. I just like rereading things.
And so for me, I think that's where, specifically with video games, streaming is great because it means I can, if there's a game that I have really enjoyed and would play again but can't, it means I can watch someone else do that, and it becomes a new experience. And you also get that kind of that, exactly, and you get that kind of second-hand enjoyment of someone else experiencing it. And so it's like, great, I can feed off that energy instead. Outer Wilds being a prime example, but like there's plenty of others as well. Even stuff that has like a lot of choice, like something like Disco Elysium, I've tried to restart and go back through again because you can experience a whole new game by going through that again, and still kind of struggled to get back into that. But watching someone else play, it's like, great, this is fine. I don't have to do the thing. I can just experience it again anew. But yeah, exactly. Showing people things, like finding something that you love and being like, "Hey, check this out," is great when you get it right and it catches them. And then don't worry about being out of. Don't worry about that at all. Like I probably sound like I read a lot of books, and I hope I sound like literally the. I would say probably 95% of the reading that I have done in the last year has been on stream. Aside from that, it has been, there is no Anti-Memetics Division and Fine Structure, the other book by the same author. That's it. So yeah, that's kind of the extent of. I used to, like, as a kid, I used to read lots. And then I just kind of started watching things on my phone instead. So that's been like the death of that.
So many brain cells died the day. No, it's perfectly fine to do, obviously.
Yeah.
For chat, I am joking.
Yeah. So yeah, there is no judgment, no shame on any level of reading or and engaging with art and creative
stuff,
products and stuff, things that people have done. Yeah, no shame at all. It's all good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I love it. I love it when you recommend something to friends and you know that there's going to be a point at which they go, what? No, or they get very excited and stuff, and then you start getting messages through. And it's like, you've reached that moment.
It's why I keep recommending like Outer Wilds to people, because I'm waiting for it to stick with someone, and so far it doesn't. But eventually someone will, and they'll get back to me like, oh, and So yeah.
Yeah. It is good things.
Mm.
For a while, it does fantastic stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah. Yeah, does anyone have any recommendations on what we should read next, actually? I mean, we've got a kind of big list.
I can say I don't know about next because I have a wealth of things. I've got
you're kind of set.
Yeah, I've got Moonfleet and I've got other filler and stuff. But I don't know what you're planning after Monte Cristo at the end of the year.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I'll be doing some short stories and stuff while you read whatever big thing you read next.
Probably Dracula, I guess.
Yeah, but I think for my next novel to read, I think I'm gonna have to crack open the Dickens can, because there are lots of good stories. I don't know which one I'll start with. Might start with an easy ripping tale of with Nicholas Nickleby or something. Copperfield's a bit long, but Nicholas Nickleby's good. Bleak House is also pretty good. Bleak House is fantastic because it's Dickens doing I'm just going to follow the trends. What's the trend at the moment? Spontaneous combustion. Right. How are you going to write that in? It's just going to be there. It's just going to happen. Why? I don't know, but it's cool, right? What bearing does this have on the story? None at all, but everybody's talking about it. It's the latest thing. It's like, okay, sure. Right, it's such a weird start of the book. It's spontaneous combustion. It's because there were a couple of cases of spontaneous combustion in and around London at the time that Dickens decided to sit down and write Bleak House, and there's obviously there are reasons for it, just people just bursting into flames. There are lots of reasons, but science was at that point, they didn't quite know what caused it. So it was sort of a big mystery of spontaneous combustion. It's a new thing that's happening to people. And it kind of became a bit of a fad and a bit of a sort of excitement. And so he decided to write it into Bleak House. It's like, sure, you Dickens.
I feel like at some point during my childhood, so it would be like late 80s, early to mid 90s, it kind of came round again, because saying spontaneous combustion immediately shoots me back to being a kid when that was a thing that seemed to be in a lot of media. Like, I remember an episode of The X-Files all about it.
I mean, it is a phenomenon that has happened around the world at numerous points in history that a lot of times people genuinely don't know why it happened.
Yeah. It just feels like another one of those things, like quicksand. And I'm trying to think of some of the other examples that as a child I was trained to be a lot more fearful of, out of proportion with the actual incidences, like the Bermuda Triangle as well. Trying to think of things that as a kid I was deathly afraid of happening or encountering, and as a proportion for what actual day-to-day threats I faced versus my worrying about those relative to Bermuda Triangle, spontaneous combustion, and quicksand. It was not quite what I would call accurate.
No.
Yeah, I feel like I just remember it being a thing, and again, it might be due to kind of the media that was in the house while I was growing up. But yeah. Piranhas as well. Yeah. Falling anvils and pianos. Yep, also those. That's really more Looney Tunes. So.
Yeah, I'm not. I think I'd be more angry to see a falling piano than I would be scared. I would probably try and catch a falling piano, because poor piano.
Yes.
Here lies Lucy. She died as she lived.
Under a piano.
Under a piano, yeah. Funny you should say that, actually. I used to hide under a piano when I was at like the junior department of the Royal Academy of Music, when I went on Saturday. It's like for the Saturday school type thing. A friend and I just always used to hide under one of the pianos in one of the rooms and try and scare people that walked in. Oh no, it was because we were skipping a theory class. That was why.
Everyone's got
But
to
yeah,
have
it
a
was.
hobby.
Well, yeah. I don't think we liked our theory teacher for some reason. So yeah, we just did under the piano. I think there's actually video footage somewhere that someone has of me hiding under a piano. Oh no. Maybe don't try and catch a falling piano. Yeah,
No.
I know.
No.
Possibly not a good idea.
Mm. Yeah. I don't know about you, but I'm feeling like I could probably bring things to an end about soon.
Yeah?
If you felt like it.
Yeah. Lying under pianos that are being played is so nice, though. That is true. Yeah.
I've never done that.
It's kind of cool.
Fair.
It just sounds different because
Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah,
it's got like more kind of bassy resonance.
Yeah.
I guess. But yeah, no, I'm happy to wrap things up there.
yeah,
I guess like any particular burning questions that anyone from
comments.
chat has about anything, or any feedback / suggestions for stuff.
Yeah, any comments or feedback and stuff is welcome. And again, this isn't like your only chance. Feel free to shoot a message to either one of us on Discord or to the Twitter account. Either the main Twitter account or mine or Lucy's. DMs, at least mine, I think are pretty much always open. I don't have any like locks on that. So yeah, anything like that, suggestions and whatnot, always welcome and encouraged. Obviously the clause is always there that we don't mind hearing it as long as you don't mind if we don't do it. Which always, I feel like it always sounds hostile. Like you're free to tell us what you want us to do as long as we're okay to not care. But it's not done like that. It's just like
Logistics.
We can't do everything that is suggested, and I hope that's understandable. But exactly,
Suggestions, not demands. Yeah,
exactly. But we know that you're a reasonable and polite group of people, for which we're incredibly grateful.
Yes.
So yeah, happy to trust us to give your suggestions time and thought, I guess, is probably the politer way to put it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I guess we'll keep everyone updated as to what's happening with the coffee / Bandcamp.
Yeah.
Stuff.
It's not going to be like a quick overnight. That's gone now. It'll be probably a slow. Like we wouldn't want to do anything with the Bandcamp until we've actually got stuff to put up there, which we haven't got round to planning or recording or editing any of that yet. So you can't yet. Saladlit, you can. Okay. Everyone but Salad is welcome to DM suggestions. I had to block Salad for all the constant non-English literature.
I mean, if we find good translations.
I am joking.
Yeah, I know.
But someone in chat might not. Yes.
Sam's always joking. Never take anything he says seriously.
Mm-hmm. Except for that.
Yeah. But yeah, no, very happy to read non-English literature if there are any good, if there's a particularly good of something. I really wish Nabokov was in public domain because I read Pale Fire fairly recently, and that's a really good book. Weird but good. Nabokov, I think, was Lolita.
Yes, yeah.
But yeah, Pale Fire's good, but again, not in public domain. But that's a good translation of obviously the Russian. But yeah.
Yeah, I guess so some we're about done. Otherwise we just like sit and talk. I can just like sit and talk over this pile of books, but frankly if we don't do that, that gives us something else to talk about, like more material for the next one.
Because I'm just going to be talking about Monte Cristo again.
Yeah, I mean I didn't really say much about Moonfleet. I just kind of introduced it at the start. I was like, I've been reading this, here's some stuff that's happened, and then moved on. So
I mean, you've only done like two or like four, 5 chapters.
4 or 5 chapters. Yeah. Start chapter 5, the next one. After leaving it on a cliffhanger last time. Bum bum.
Oh. Yeah.
So yeah, come back next Saturday for that. But first of all, come back
Yes.
on Wednesday in 2 days' time.
Wednesday for more.
Count of Monte Cristo.
Oh, you boring person! I was waiting for something good there.
What's wrong with the Count of Monte Cristo? Why are you reading it if it's not good?
You just set a precedent.
You set the precedent by saying it's the thing that I do every time, and they're always original. Now the pressure's on me to try and come up with something original every time.
Well, you shouldn't have started doing them in the first place, should you?
We're going now. Goodbye.
Thank you all very much for being here and being great.
Yes.
And yeah, we hope you've enjoyed it and like the fact that this is a new thing.
Yeah. It is just like, it's extremely, I don't know, should we start a podcast? Yeah, okay, let's start a podcast. Set microphone, just sit and talk about whatever, which, trying not to get myself onto another subject, were the kind of podcasts that back when I used to listen to them, I would enjoy the most. It would always be when like one of the couple that I listened to would go up with the notes like, I don't really know why anyone's going to want to listen to this one. It's just the two of us sat talking for 2 hours. And I'd be like, sick, I love those ones. Just let me experience human social interaction by proxy because I don't get enough of it myself. So that was that. So yeah, I guess we might, as time goes on, might try and get a bit more structure and organisation to this. But this one is really just like a first go kind of cider to see kind of how it went. And it seemed like it's been okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Vague structure in here somewhere.
Somewhere.
It's probably down the back of the sofa now, but
yeah. Sort of, yeah. I'm not going to try and come up with an analogy on the spot. Yeah, we're going to go. But thank you very much for being here. I'm really hungry and I'm going to go eat. And she's been Lucy.
I was just about to say, yeah, okay, very good.
My finger's on the end button. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, thank you for being here.
You're all
it's lovely
wonderful.
to know that people have turned out and enjoyed it. So yeah, come back on Wednesday for more, and then on Saturday for more, and the next one of these will be on the first Monday of June.
Which is
the midpoint of the year.
Well, it won't be the probably be
June.
So we say second. But we said second Monday of every month, which would either be the 13th, but it's the 6th is the like second week because week starts on a Wednesday in June. So guess either the 6th or the 13th, depending on what we feel like and depending on what is happening.
We'll try and convey more accurate information closer to the date.
Yes,
it's probably the best I can give now. But yeah, we're going to go. So thank you very much for being here. Look after yourselves and the people that are around you. Also,
I see you there, bees.
Oh yeah, good point. Sneaking
I hope
in.
you haven't just snuck in at the end. Sorry if you have, but thanks for being here.
Yeah, thank you. It's good to see you as well. And go take care and have a good rest of whatever day it is for you.
Yeah.
And goodbye.